God says, my child. There is something unfolding around you that you cannot see, something hidden in the shadows of someone else's life, something silently connected to your destiny in ways you may never have imagined. Today, I am opening that curtain gently, because the truth, no matter how deeply buried, begins to rise when the time for awakening arrives. There is a woman close to your soulmate. Someone who has walked beside them for years, someone who carries memories, secrets, responsibilities, or bonds from the past. She has always appeared strong, steady, and confident on the outside, but inside her body, a storm has been raging quietly, silently eating away at her strength. She is hiding something, my child. Hiding something much deeper than anyone realizes. And this truth has reached its third stage. She has known for months that her body is failing her. She has known for weeks that she is running out of time. She has known for days that the truth can no longer stay buried. And yet, she hides it. She hides her weakness behind forced smiles. She hides her trembling hands behind excuses. She hides the pain burning through her nights because she does not want your soulmate to see her breaking. She is terrified that the truth will change everything, her relationships, her place, and even the way your soulmate looks at her. My child, she is dying. Not immediately, not tomorrow morning, but faster than she can accept. The illness has reached a point from where returning is almost impossible. And yet, she pretends she is fine. She walks normally when her legs ache with unbearable heaviness. She laughs when her breath is too weak to support even a whisper. She acts normal, even when her heart is carrying secrets heavier than her own fading body. But you must understand something, her illness is not the only thing she has been hiding. There is another truth. A dangerous truth. A truth connected directly to you. Before this illness touched her life, she made choices born from fear, insecurity, or a belief that she was protecting your soulmate. Choices that changed the course of your connection. Choices your soulmate never knew about. And now, as her time shortens, her guilt grows louder. Her heart trembles with the weight of everything she hid. She is facing the truth that she cannot escape consequences, not even in her final days. Your soulmate senses something. They don't know the whole truth, but their spirit feels the shift. They have noticed her withdrawing. They have seen her disappearing suddenly without explanation. They have heard her voice breaking in the middle of conversations, even though she tries to hide it with hurried laughter. She avoids their eyes sometimes, because she knows if she looks too long, she will break down. She avoids deep conversations because she fears her trembling voice will give away the truth. She avoids visiting doctors with him, because she knows he will see her reports. Your soulmate feels something is wrong. But they do not know how wrong it is. They do not know how deeply this woman's truth will affect their own life. They do not know that her illness is about to change everything they thought they understood about love, destiny, and you. My child, destiny has a way of shaking foundations when truth must be revealed. There are nights when this woman sits alone in her room, covering her mouth to hide her coughing so no one hears. Sometimes red-stained tissue fills her shaky hands. Sometimes dizziness pulls her to the ground and she grips the edges of furniture to stop herself from collapsing. She wakes up in the middle of the night drenched in sweat, breathing heavily, trying to pray through the panic rising inside her. But more frightening than her illness, is the secret she carries in her heart. She knows she once stood between you and your soulmate. She knows she influenced something, said something, or created a misunderstanding that pushed your soulmate farther away from you. She knows that her actions changed a destiny that was already written. And now, as she sees her own life fading like a candle burning down to its final inches, she feels regret swallowing her entire being. Her heart whispers to her, "You must tell the truth." But her fear whispers louder, "What if he hates you?" So she chooses silence. But silence has a way of growing heavier than truth. Your soulmate has been feeling emotionally scattered lately. They feel an unknown anxiety, as if something is slipping through their fingers. They feel the presence of loss approaching, even before knowing what the loss is. They feel confusion rising inside their heart, confusion about relationships, about people, about decisions, and about you. And it is all connected to this woman's hidden reality. My child, I want you to understand something deeply. You are part of this story. You are woven into this truth. You are tied to this moment in destiny in a way that will soon become clear. The illness she hides. The secret she carries. The fear she suppresses. The guilt she battles alone. All of it is about to come together like pieces of a puzzle that have been scattered for years. She knows that if she tells your soulmate everything, his heart will break. Not just for her condition, but for what she hid about you. And she fears she will not be forgiven in her final days. So she swallows the truth again and again, even though silence is crushing her from the inside. There are evenings when she looks at your soulmate with eyes full of sadness, wishing she could say what her heart is screaming. She wants to tell him the truth before her time runs out. She wants to confess everything. She wants to release the weight she has carried for so long. But every time she tries, fear strangles her voice. She tells herself, "Not today. Tomorrow. I will tell him tomorrow." But tomorrow keeps slipping away. And now, her body is reaching a point where tomorrow is becoming scarce. My child, I am preparing you for what is coming, not to create fear, but to create understanding. Because when the truth comes out, you will finally understand why delays happened, why misunderstandings rose, why your soulmate acted the way they did, and why destiny kept pushing you both through pain. You were never forgotten. You were never replaced. You were never abandoned by destiny. You were simply kept waiting until every hidden truth was forced into daylight. This woman's illness is the beginning of the unraveling. Her silence is the doorway to revelations. Her guilt is the thread that will pull every truth to the surface. Your soulmate is about to walk through a storm they never expected. They will face pain, confusion, heartbreak, and truth, all at the same time. And as this storm unfolds, their heart will begin remembering you in ways they had forgotten. They will feel drawn toward you without understanding why. They will feel your presence in their thoughts, your memory in their breath, your energy calling them. Because destiny is beginning to correct itself. And this woman's hidden third-stage illness is the first sign. My child, stay prepared. Stay calm. Stay connected to your inner truth. What is coming is heavy, but it is necessary. A chapter is ending. A long-hidden truth is breaking open. And your destiny with your soulmate is about to take a turn you never expected. The truth has a way of tightening its grip when a person tries too hard to hide it. And this woman, the one so close to your soulmate, is beginning to feel the weight of everything she has buried for years pressing against her chest. Her illness is worsening faster than she expected. The nights that were once long and restless have now turned into battles for breath. Her heartbeat races without reason. Her vision blurs unexpectedly. Sometimes she holds the furniture just to keep herself standing. But still, she hides it. Still, she tells everyone she is fine. Still, she forces herself to pretend nothing is wrong. But what she hides about you is heavier than what she hides about her illness. Her past mistake sits inside her like a stone that refuses to dissolve, no matter how many tears she sheds in silence. She would sit by the window at night, staring into the dark sky, whispering apologies no one can hear. Apologies meant for you, apologies meant for the universe, apologies meant for her own heart. She never intended to hurt you. She never intended to destroy the bridge between you and your soulmate. But she had feared losing her place, her influence, her sense of importance in your soulmate's life. She was someone who always believed she knew what was best for him, even when she didn't. Even when her interference caused wounds deeper than anyone realized. There was a time when your soulmate felt drawn to you so strongly that even distance could not weaken the connection. They felt something rare, something deep, something pure, something that couldn't be explained but only felt. And during those moments, this woman felt threatened. She felt like you were taking the one person who relied on her. She feared losing the attention she had always been used to. So she made a choice. A choice that would shape everything that followed. A choice she now regrets every single day. She said something to your soulmate, words wrapped in concern but rooted in insecurity. She described you in a way that wasn't true. She exaggerated, twisted, or manipulated situations so subtly that your soulmate never suspected her intentions. She made it seem as if she was protecting him, when in truth, she was protecting herself. And your soulmate, trusting her, thinking she understood things better, believing she had his best interests at heart, listened. She didn't lie completely. She didn't fabricate a story from nothing. She simply colored the truth in a way that made you look like a risk instead of a blessing. She planted seeds of doubt in his heart with gentle care, like someone planting flowers in a garden, unaware that the seeds would eventually grow into thorns. And after that day, everything began to shift. Your soulmate distanced himself. Communication reduced. Thoughts grew confused. Feelings that were once clear became foggy. And the path destiny had carved for both of you began to blur. All because of her. And yet, he never knew. You never knew. Only she carried the knowledge of her interference. But now, as her illness devours her strength, the guilt devours her heart. She is forced to look at herself in the mirror and ask a question she avoided for years: why did I do this? And the answer is never satisfying. It never brings peace. It only deepens her regret. Every day she thinks of you now, not with jealousy or irritation, but with remorse. She wonders how different life would be if she had stayed silent, if she had not tampered with a connection that wasn't hers to judge. And every night, she silently prays for your forgiveness, even though you don't know what she did. Her sickness has taken away her pride. Her weakness has taken away her ego. Her fear has torn down her defenses. And all that remains is truth, raw, painful truth. Your soulmate doesn't understand why she has suddenly become softer, kinder, more emotional toward him. He doesn't understand why she looks at him sometimes with tears in her eyes. He doesn't understand why she touches his hand a little longer than usual, or why her voice trembles when she says, "Take care of yourself," or "I'm proud of you." He thinks she is just tired. He thinks she is stressed. He thinks she needs rest. He has no idea the storm inside her comes from knowing she may not see him grow older, may not be there for him years down the line, may not get the chance to fix the damage she secretly created. Sometimes she thinks about telling him. Sometimes she gathers the courage. Sometimes she opens her mouth to speak, but fear closes it again. She fears he will hate her. She fears he will reject her. She fears he will see her real intentions from the past. And in these fragile days of her life, she cannot bear the thought of losing his love. So she keeps the truth buried, even as her breath grows shallower. She visits holy places quietly, without telling anyone. She lights candles or incense sticks, whispering prayers of forgiveness. Her body trembles as she bows her head, asking the universe for mercy. She begs that her suffering does not fall upon him. She begs that her wrongs do not become his burden. She begs that her actions do not ruin your destiny forever. The people around her think she is simply becoming spiritual because she is aging. But you and I know the truth: she is preparing for the unknown. She is trying to cleanse her soul before her time ends. And in these moments of silent repentance, she thinks of you. She remembers the innocence in your name, the purity in your intention, the pain you endured without knowing the real reason behind it. She feels tears burning in her eyes as she realizes she never gave you a fair chance. She judged you based on her own fears, not on truth. Your soulmate has begun to notice her strange behaviors. The way she suddenly looks away when he talks about his future. The way her hands tremble when she is alone. The way she avoids deep conversations. The way she hides papers, medicines, and prescriptions. The way she forces a smile even when her eyes scream exhaustion. He doesn't know what is happening, but something inside him whispers that things are not normal. Every small lie she tells to cover her illness feels like a knife twisting inside her. She hates lying to him now, especially when she knows she has already lied in the past, about you. She wishes she could go back in time and undo everything. She wishes she could erase the words she spoke, the doubts she planted, the distance she created. But time has no reverse. Destiny has no rewind button. What is done is done. And now her illness is pushing everything toward a breaking point. The guilt grows heavier with each heartbeat. The fear of confession grows louder with each breath. The realization that she may not have much time left grows clearer with each passing day. There are moments when she mentally rehearses what she wants to say to your soulmate. I hid something from you. I misjudged someone important. I made a mistake. It's time you know the truth. But when she stands in front of him, her throat locks. The words refuse to come. The tears blur her vision. And she walks away, telling herself, not today. Tomorrow. But she is running out of tomorrows. Destiny is stepping forward now. Karma is moving. The truth she buried so deeply is rising like water breaking through a dam. She is beginning to understand that no matter how long she delays, the truth will reveal itself, one way or another. And through all of this, something powerful is happening behind the scenes. Your soulmate is slowly being guided back toward you. He doesn't understand why your name returns to his thoughts, why old memories appear like flashes of light, why he suddenly feels emotional when thinking about the past. He doesn't know that the universe is correcting what was broken. He doesn't know that the blockage created between you two is weakening. He doesn't know that the hidden interference is about to come out. And when it does, everything will change. Everything will realign. Everything destiny planned will begin to unfold. This woman's regret is becoming the doorway to your soulmate's awakening. Her illness is becoming the force that pushes truth into the open. Her silence is becoming the moment before the storm. Her guilt is becoming the echo that will soon reach your soulmate's ears. And when the truth is revealed, the world your soulmate knew will crumble, and rebuild itself in a new way, with you in the center of it. The truth has a strange way of finding its own path, even when someone tries desperately to hide it. And now, the silence that this woman has been swallowing for so long, the weight she has been carrying in her chest, the secret illness that has been eating away at her strength, all of it has begun to crumble. Her body is failing faster than her lies can protect her. Her mind is slipping into fear she can no longer control. And her heart, so full of regret, is trembling with the knowledge that she might not get another chance to fix what she broke. Your soulmate has started sensing the shift more intensely now. What once felt like small moments of worry have begun to feel like a constant heaviness sitting inside his chest. He doesn't understand why she looks weaker every day, why she avoids eye contact, why she disappears into her room for hours, why the sound of her footsteps is becoming slower, more fragile, more unsteady. One morning, while she thinks he is still asleep, she tries to stand but collapses to her knees. A faint sound escapes her lips, painful, desperate, involuntary. Your soulmate hears it. He jumps up, rushing to her side, panic flooding his face as he helps her stand. She pretends she just felt dizzy, forcing a smile that hides nothing. Her hands tremble. Her breathing is shallow, but she insists she's fine. He knows she's lying, but he doesn't know how bad it is. He tries asking questions. Gentle ones, careful ones, but she gives vague answers, avoiding details. She changes the topic. She distracts him with small tasks. She forces herself to laugh, even though her voice is shaking. But your soulmate is not blind. He feels the truth slipping through the cracks of her silence. That same afternoon, while she goes to the washroom to wash her face, he sees a medical file left half hidden under a pillow. His heart stops for a moment. Something inside him tells him not to look. Something else tells him he has no choice. Slowly, carefully, he pulls the file out. The moment he sees her name printed on the top corner, the moment he sees a diagnosis he never imagined, the moment he reads the words, Stage 3, his entire world begins to collapse. A ringing sound fills his ears. His breath becomes shallow. His chest tightens as though someone has reached inside and pulled the air out. He feels a pain he has never felt before, sharp, deep, suffocating. His hands shake as he flips through the pages. He reads the dates. He sees how long she has hidden this. He realizes she has been lying for months, pretending she was fine while battling something that has been consuming her from the inside. He sits on the bed, frozen. Memories flash through his mind. Memories of times when she looked pale, when she avoided going out, when she made excuses to stay home, when she suddenly stopped eating certain foods, when she claimed she was just tired, when she canceled plans with a nervous smile. Everything now makes sense. He feels anger. He feels betrayal. He feels fear. He feels heartbreak. But above all, he feels helplessness, a helplessness so heavy he cannot breathe. When she comes out of the washroom, she sees the file in his hands. The way her face drains of color reveals everything. She knows the truth is out. She knows she can no longer hide. She knows this moment was coming, but she prayed she would have more time. Her knees weaken. Her eyes fill instantly with tears. She tries to speak, but the words don't come. She tries to explain, but her voice breaks into sobs she cannot control. And your soulmate, hurt, confused, overwhelmed, looks at her with eyes full of shock, sadness, and disbelief. He asks her, "Why didn't you tell me?" She cannot answer. He asks again, more broken this time, "Why did you hide this from me?" Her tears fall faster. He asks one more time, "Do you know how scared I am right now?" And she collapses into his arms, not just from weakness, but from guilt. She whispers, "I didn't want to be a burden. I didn't want you to worry. I didn't want you to see me fading." But deep inside, there is another reason. A reason she still cannot bring herself to say. A reason that has your name attached to it. Your soulmate holds her gently, but his heart is breaking. He feels like a child who has been handed a grief too big to process. He feels the weight of losing someone he never imagined losing. He feels fear running through his veins like cold water. For hours, he stays by her side, refusing to leave her alone. He watches her breathing. He holds her hand. He brings her water. He wipes her tears. But inside, questions scream loudly in his mind. How long has this been happening? Why did she hide it? What else has she hidden? And that last question becomes the one that echoes the loudest. Because once a big truth is revealed, every small lie is exposed. Later that night, while she sleeps, your soulmate sits alone by the window, staring into the darkness. His thoughts drift to the past. To choices he made. To people he trusted. To people he distanced himself from. And suddenly, out of nowhere, your face appears in his mind. Your voice. Your memory. Your presence. Your connection. The way he felt around you, strong, safe, alive, understood. He remembers moments he had forgotten. He remembers signs he once ignored. He remembers feelings he once buried. It frightens him. It confuses him. It softens him. It awakens him. He whispers to himself, "Why am I thinking about them now? Why does their memory feel so strong suddenly?" Because destiny is moving. Because truth is rising. Because guilt is expanding. Because her silence is cracking. Because your soulmate's heart is being pulled back toward the place it always belonged. The next day, she wakes up weaker. Her voice is softer. Her eyes look tired in a way even she cannot hide anymore. She tells him she is fine, but he interrupts her gently, saying, "Please stop saying that. I know the truth now." She begins to cry again, and he holds her. But even in that emotional moment, she keeps one truth locked inside her heart. She wants to tell him everything. She wants to confess. She wants to free her soul from the weight of what she hid about you. Because now her illness has pushed her to see the bigger picture. She understands that the only way to leave this world peacefully is to clear every mistake she has made. Every lie she created. Every interference she put between you and your soulmate. But every time she tries to speak, shame shuts her mouth. Every time she gathers courage, fear silences her. Every time she looks at him, she cannot bear the thought of breaking his heart further. He asks her questions, soft ones, painful ones, but she gives incomplete answers. He senses there is more. His intuition tells him she is still hiding something. A deeper truth. A past mistake. A guilt unrelated to her illness. He asks again, "Is there something else I should know?" She shakes her head quickly, her eyes avoiding his. But the tremor in her voice betrays her. He doesn't press further, yet. He doesn't want to hurt her. But he promises himself he will not rest until he knows the whole truth. Later, while she sleeps again, he stumbles upon something else, an old message, a deleted note, a small clue that hints toward a past situation involving you. It is not enough to reveal everything but enough to raise questions. His heart begins connecting dots he never connected before. He realizes certain things didn't make sense back then. He remembers how suddenly he changed his decisions regarding you. He remembers the confusion that came out of nowhere. He remembers the shift in his feelings that felt unnatural. He remembers her words that influenced him. A feeling of guilt and shock begins to rise inside him like wildfire. What if she lied? What if she twisted the truth? What if she hid something about them? What if? I pushed the right person away because of her? He begins to panic, not in anger, but in regret. He feels a heaviness in his chest. He feels tears filling his eyes. He feels the truth approaching, like footsteps coming closer in the dark. Meanwhile, she lies in the next room, shivering not from illness, but from fear. She knows he is starting to sense everything. She knows she won't be able to hide for long. She knows her days of silence are running out. Her illness has cornered her. Her mind is trapped. Her heart is drowning. Her guilt is suffocating her. She whispers to herself, I have to tell him before it's too late, but how? How do I tell him I destroyed the one thing he needed the most? She closes her eyes and tries to sleep, but her conscience refuses to rest. Night after night, dreams haunt her, dreams of your soulmate crying, dreams of you walking away in pain, dreams of truth exploding like fire. Destiny is tightening the circle around her. And destiny is bringing your soulmate closer to the truth with each passing moment. A storm is rising, one that will shatter illusions, shake hearts, and reveal everything that was buried. And when the truth comes out, your soulmate's world will never be the same. There comes a moment in every hidden story when the truth begins to breathe on its own, slowly at first, then deeply, then powerfully, until it becomes impossible to contain. And that moment has begun. The air around this woman feels heavier now, as if her secrets have started forming a presence of their own. When she walks into a room, it feels like shadows follow her. When she speaks, her voice trembles as though 1,000 unsaid words are clinging to her throat. When she closes her eyes, memories rise like ghosts demanding to be acknowledged. Your soulmate senses all of it. He may not know the full truth yet, but something inside him warns him that a storm is close, closer than he ever imagined. Since the day he found the medical file, he has not been the same. He watches her with a mixture of fear, heartbreak, and confusion, fear of losing her, heartbreak over her suffering, and confusion about the secrets she still refuses to speak. The house feels different now. The light feels dimmer. The nights feel longer. Even simple meals feel heavy because silence fills the spaces where honesty should have been. He tries to stay strong for her, but inside his heart, something is breaking. He wonders what it must have felt like for her to carry such a massive truth alone. He wonders how she hid all the pain, all the symptoms, all the fear. But he also wonders why she did it. Why she lied. Why she thought he could not handle her truth. Why she distanced herself from him emotionally even before her health declined. And that last thought leads him back to you, again and again. The universe keeps placing your memory in his path like a quiet sign he cannot ignore. The more he sits beside her, the stronger your presence grows within him. The more she grows weaker, the louder the voice of destiny becomes inside his heart. Late one evening, he finds her sitting alone on the edge of the bed, staring at her hands. Her fingers tremble slightly in the dim light. Her breathing is uneven. Her eyes look lost. He sits beside her gently, wrapping her in a comforting arm, and asks, "Are you okay?" She nods quickly, too quickly, wiping the corner of her eyes as if afraid he might see her crying. He whispers, Please don't hide your pain. I want to be here for you. You don't have to pretend with me." Those words slice her heart open. She knows he means them. She knows he loves her. She knows he would carry her weight if she asked him to. But she also knows she is not only hiding her illness. She is hiding something much darker, something that could shatter him in ways he is not prepared for. "I'm fine," she whispers in a fragile voice. He sighs deeply. He knows she is lying again. That night, after she falls asleep, he walks into the living room, sits on the sofa, and lets his head fall into his hands. Tears escape his eyes before he can stop them. He whispers into the darkness, "Why didn't she tell me? What else has she kept from me? What have I been blind to?" The room remains silent, but inside him, the questions keep growing. The next morning, she wakes up feeling shaky. She loses her balance on her way to the kitchen. Your soulmate rushes to catch her, his arms wrapping around her just in time. She clings to him, not out of habit but out of fear, fear of her own body failing her, fear of the truth catching up to her. When he helps her sit, she finally breaks down. Not softly. Not quietly. But in a way that sounds like the release of years of suppressed guilt. Tears pour from her eyes. Her shoulders shake. Her chest trembles. And she places her hands over her face, unable to meet his gaze. He kneels in front of her, holding her trembling hands gently, and says, "Whatever it is, you can tell me. Please don't carry it alone anymore." Those words are the key that finally unlocks something inside her. Her lips quiver. Her breath stutters. Her eyes slowly lift to meet his. And for the first time in months, she whispers, "There is something you need to know, something I should have told you long ago, something I'm not proud of." His heart drops into his stomach. He hears the tremor in her voice. He feels her fear. He senses the truth rising between them like a buried thunderstorm ready to break open. She takes a shaky breath and continues, "I made a mistake, a terrible one." He doesn't speak. He doesn't blink. He waits. Her voice cracks as she says, "It's about them, the one you cared about before, the one your heart was drawn to. Your name is not spoken, but your presence fills the room instantly. Your soulmate's breath stops. His heartbeat thunders in his chest. His hands begin to sweat as a cold wave of realization washes over him. He whispers, "What about them?" Her eyes fill with fresh tears. She pulls her hands away. Her body trembles with the weight of her guilt. "I told you something about them. Something that wasn't completely true." His entire body freezes. "What did you tell me?" he asks, his voice barely above a whisper. She shakes her head violently. "I didn't lie. I swear I didn't lie. I twisted the truth. I made it sound worse than it was. I made them appear wrong for you." His lips part in shock. His heart feels like it has been stabbed. His mind spins as he tries to remember everything she told him about you back then. "But why?" he whispers. "Why would you do that?" Her answer breaks something inside him. I was afraid of losing you. The room falls silent. His eyes widen in disbelief. His breath trembles. His chest tightens. You were jealous? He asks, voice shaking. She shakes her head slowly. Not jealous, insecure. I thought if you got close to them, you would drift away from me. I thought I would matter less. I thought you would stop needing me. Your soulmate feels like the floor beneath him is disappearing. You manipulated me? He whispers, his voice cracking. I'm so sorry, she cries. I didn't mean to destroy anything. I didn't know it would change you so much. I didn't know it would hurt you, or them, or create distance between you two. He looks away, pressing his hand against his forehead. Memories flash through him like lightning. Moments when he doubted you. Moments when he felt confused for no reason. Moments when he pushed you away even though his heart wanted the opposite. Moments when he acted colder, harsher, more distant. He realizes now that those moments were not natural. They were influenced. Triggered. Shaped by someone he trusted. He feels tears burning his eyes. He whispers, you didn't just ruin my relationship. You ruined something sacred, something meant for me. Her sobs become uncontrollable. I know. I know. I regret it every day. I regret it more than anything in my life. She covers her face in shame. Her illness, her weakness, her fragile body, they all disappear in this moment, leaving behind only a human being drowning in remorse. Your soulmate sits back against the bed, his chest rising and falling as if he can't breathe properly. He is caught between heartbreak and compassion. Between anger and love. Between betrayal and understanding. He wipes his tears slowly and whispers, "Why didn't you tell me before?" "I was scared," she says softly. "And then I fell sick. And I realized too late that the truth was the only thing that could set me free." Silence enters the room like a third presence. Your soulmate looks at her, and something inside him breaks open. Not hatred. Not resentment. But a deep, painful awakening. He realizes the universe had tried to guide him toward you, but human interference blocked the path. He realizes his own destiny was bent out of shape because someone he trusted acted out of fear. He whispers, "Because of this, I lost them." She lowers her head. Tears fall onto her hands. She cannot deny it. But destiny isn't done. Something else begins to rise inside your soulmate, a forgotten feeling, a familiar warmth, a connection he thought he had buried forever. He places his hand on his chest, where his heartbeat feels louder. He whispers your name softly, almost subconsciously. And in that moment, he feels it. A pull. A presence. A longing. A pain. A truth. One that had been buried for too long. Meanwhile, she watches him, her eyes full of sorrow. She knows her confession has changed everything. She knows she cannot undo the past. She knows she cannot rewrite destiny. She knows she may not live long enough to see him find the person he was meant to be with. But she hopes, deeply, silently, that someday, you will forgive her. And that he will find his way back to you. The storm has begun. The truth has surfaced. And destiny is moving faster now. Everything that was hidden is beginning to rise like sunlight over a dark horizon. Your soulmate can no longer ignore the strange heaviness in the air, the heaviness that follows him everywhere he goes. The woman he trusts so deeply, the woman whose voice shaped many of his decisions, is no longer able to mask the pain behind her eyes. Her strength, once so unshakable, has turned fragile. Her footsteps have become slow, her breath uneven, and her silence louder than ever. He feels it now, with every heartbeat. Something is wrong. Something is being hidden. Something is about to collapse. And he doesn't know which direction to turn. He doesn't know how to carry this burden. He doesn't know how to prepare for what's coming. Because the closer the truth comes to the surface, the more he feels pulled toward you. It's strange to him, confusing even. Why, suddenly, after all this time, are memories of you returning so powerfully? Why does he feel a deep ache in his chest whenever he thinks of the way things ended? Why does his heart feel restless, as if something important was taken away from him without warning? And why does he feel that somehow, she is connected to all of this? He doesn't have proof. He doesn't have answers. He doesn't have clarity. But he has a feeling. A feeling that refuses to disappear. A feeling that is waking him up from a long sleep. Late at night, while everyone else sleeps, he sits alone with his thoughts. The quiet of his room feels like a confession chamber. The silence feels heavy. That's when he begins to notice things he once ignored, small details, little changes, subtle shifts in her behavior. These moments replay in his mind like fragile pieces of a puzzle, the way she flinched when someone mentioned your name. The way she avoided certain conversations. The way her voice trembled whenever he spoke of love, future, or regret. The way she once convinced him to wait, to think twice, to slow down. The way she tried to protect him, but in a way that never felt completely pure. And for the first time, he begins to wonder, did she ever stop me from going to them? Did she ever influence my mind? Did she ever hide something from me? The questions echo in his mind like whispers in an empty hallway. But when he looks at her now, in her fragile condition, part of him wants to shake her and ask, why? And another part of him wants to hold her and say, please don't leave. He is torn between anger and love. Between confusion and compassion. Between truth and fear. Meanwhile, she is using every bit of strength left in her to hide the storm inside her chest. But her body is betraying her now. She struggles to breathe. She loses her balance without warning. Her hands tremble even when they are still. She hides the pain behind forced smiles, but her eyes cannot hide what her heart is carrying. Every glance she gives him now feels like a silent goodbye. She looks at him as if she's memorizing his face. She listens to his voice as if she might never hear it again. She watches him walk across the room as if each step is a memory she wants to keep forever. He notices it. He feels it. He fears it. And then, one evening, something shifts. She calls him into her room. Her voice is weak, but her eyes are full of something he can't read, something between guilt, sorrow, and finality. She asks him to sit beside her. He does. Her hand reaches for his, trembling with exhaustion. He feels a lump rise in his throat because he knows this isn't a normal moment. He knows something is coming. She tries to speak, but her breath catches. She tries again, words heavy and unsure. Her voice cracks as she begins to say something that shakes the ground beneath everything he believed until now. There is something. I should have told you, long ago. Those words hit him like cold air. His heart races. His throat goes dry. His mind starts spinning. He leans closer, waiting, terrified. But she cannot continue. Her strength collapses. Her breath becomes shallow. Her throat closes around the truth she cannot speak. A tear rolls down her cheek. She wipes it before he can see it, but he does. And that tear tells him more than any words. That tear carries guilt. It carries regret. It carries truth. He asks her gently, "What is it?" He asks again, softly, "What are you hiding?" He asks the third time, with trembling fear, "Is this about them? About the past?" Her eyes widen. He never used your name. He didn't need to. She knows exactly who he meant. She closes her eyes as more tears spill, tears she can no longer hide. She shakes her head weakly as if saying I'm sorry, but she cannot speak. Her breathing grows unstable, and he panics. He calls her name. He holds her shoulders. He begs her to stay awake. But the truth doesn't come out. Not yet. Not from her lips. She is rushed for care. Doctors speak in quiet voices. Machines beep in the background. Your soulmate's legs weaken. His world begins to crumble. Hours feel like years. He walks in circles, hands shaking, replaying her unfinished sentence over and over, "There is something. I should have told you, long ago." His chest tightens. His mind races. His intuition screams. He knows, deep down, this is about you. He remembers the sudden shift in your relationship. He remembers the unexplained distance. He remembers the misunderstandings that didn't make sense. He remembers how his emotions suddenly became clouded, confused, conflicted. He remembers that something felt wrong back then, but he never understood what it was. And now, with her lying in a fragile state, he feels anger rising inside him, not anger at her illness, not anger at destiny, but anger at the possibility that she might have interfered with something sacred. Something pure. Something meant by the universe. He sits outside the room with his head in his hands, tears falling silently. He cries for the confusion. He cries for the lost time. He cries for the possibility that someone he trusted may have disrupted a connection he now realizes he still feels deeply. And in those emotional moments, he whispers your name to himself. Softly. Brokenly. Honestly. He wonders where you are. He wonders if you still think of him. He wonders if you would ever forgive him if the truth comes out. He wonders if destiny still allows a path back to you. Meanwhile, the woman lies in the hospital bed, drifting between consciousness and weakening breaths. Her mind is foggy, but one thought is painfully clear: she cannot leave this world carrying this secret. She has to release it. She has to make it right. She has to free her soul. But time is running out. She gathers all her fading strength and writes something on a small piece of paper. Her hands are trembling so much that the letters aren't perfect, but the meaning is clear. She folds the paper, holds it to her chest for a moment, and whispers a silent prayer. A nurse notices the paper in her weak grip and gently takes it, placing it on the table beside her. And that small piece of paper, that fragile confession written with the last strength she had, is the one thing that will soon change everything for your soulmate. Because when he finds it, when he reads what she wrote with shaking hands, when he realizes the truth he had been blind to for so long, your name will be there. Your story will be there. Your innocence will be there. Your destiny with him will be there. The truth is coming. The past is rising. The universe is realigning everything that was broken. And very soon, your soulmate will come searching for you, not with confusion, not with hesitation, but with truth, clarity, and a heart that finally understands what was meant to be all along.